And she drops her phone. This week is episode 15 of TBR Together with Megan and Jake. I think it's episode 15. Don't remember. Didn't check. Never looked. So here we are. This will be the third installment of talking about Fragile Threads of Power, which it's weird that it took us to 3 because we're at the end of part 4 of the book and there's 12 parts. We have both, since last week, finished the entire book. So we're going to try to stay back a little bit. We're not going to talk about all the way to the end, most likely. It's going to take quite a lot of time. So if we're going to actually analyze some of these things, then we'll get to that point. But here we are. Thanks for listening. We're not closing out. I'm just saying thanks for being here.
Do you want to talk about what you're reading right now, or you just want to get into it?
Well, I was going to say first, like you have started Darker Shades of Magic, correct?
Yeah.
So you went back. I know I should, but I don't know if I really feel like it right now.
The book just left me on such a cliffhanger.
I know.
A couple different cliffhangers that I'm like, I need more context for what is happening.
Yeah.
Before I can form an opinion about how worried I need to be about my fictional friends.
No, I get that. But as we have spoke about so many times, and as we just talked about the other day, I like to just read the first book of a series and then give up.
Well, lucky for you.
And go back maybe later.
Technically, this is not a part of that series.
Technically, yeah, but it's going to be a 3-book series, and the whole point of this, because that's, in a very literal sense, it's not on the wheel. It wasn't on the immediate TBR, so
yeah.
I'm not that concerned with it. And if I get stuck into reading those 3, then I'm not reading books that I actually want to read right now myself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know I need to because you want to talk about them, but
it's okay. I'll keep it all in.
I don't want to.
I will say they talk about his coat a lot. Like, I'm not that far in. We've talked about his coat probably every 3 pages. So I'm super stoked. Love Kel's coat.
That's fantastic.
Get to see all the other sides of it because he's, going through his little trauma response this entire book to not being powerful anymore. So he only wears like 2 faces of the coat. So you get to see all the other faces. He loses things, though, in the pockets. I thought that was really funny. Because he doesn't talk about that in here. But when he changes the face, everything in the pockets go
in the
with
other
it.
version.
So, like, he's a little messenger boy. That's how the first book starts, is like him being a messenger. And he loses one of the notes because he changes the face of his coat. And I was like, God, that would be so annoying. I can't even find things in my actual coat that doesn't have magical faces.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having unlimited faces. And
you're saying the word faces, not phases?
oh, I think about them as faces, like different faces. But is it phases?
I don't know. I'm not the one reading the book.
Oh, I didn't see the words. I think I call them faces.
Then what do they call them?
I thought that's what they called him, but he's British, so maybe I misheard.
That's what I'm trying to understand. What you're?
Yeah, I just call them different faces, like the different. I think they just call them different coats. Like I don't think they simplify it any more than that.
Okay.
But that's what
why
I'm
just trying to figure out.
I was gonna read a romance because it's February, but I just really need to know what happened before I got here. So I need to read those 3 first. And I know that V. Schwab's the 3rd book in the Vicious series coming out soon. So I'm just like, gonna really get into her other writing and just like be super stoked for that book to come out.
Yeah. Maybe if I get e-reader or anything, I'll download the first book onto that and I'll physically read it versus listening to it. Because as you're saying, Villainous is coming out.
Oh, that's what this one's called?
Yeah.
Nice. I just knew it was the 3rd book in the Vicious series.
That's actually the official title, is the 3rd book of the Vicious series.
I thought so.
Even though the series is called Villains.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
That makes sense.
Just the first book's called Vicious. Uh,
It is the villain series.
it is, yes. So they're working on fulfilling the second half of the Cosmere RPG. So Mistborn is coming out soon for that. So I want to sit down and read Mistborn. I want to go through the whole current 7-book series.
I did see.
That's what I think. It's 7. I think Wax and Wayne was a 4.
I did see at Barnes and Noble when we went there yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They had a little Brandon Sanderson section on like an end cap, and it said, "The Cosmere has been picked up by Apple TV. If you start now, you can finish by the time the show comes out." And then it was like, ... We think. Well, maybe we're not sure, but you should try anyway.
I guess
like,
maybe
"That's
if
really
it was
funny."
just strictly the Stormlight stuff, maybe because they
Yeah, I think
currently
they
have the
both-
rights. What they're doing is Stormlight TV, and then a Mistborn movie adaptation. So we'll see how that goes.
So where's the Trust of the Emerald City fall in that? Just like,
In neither of those,
okay, cool.
it's just in the Cosmere.
That makes sense. They just had, I just remember seeing that one because that book cover is so pretty, and I just remember seeing that under there.
They probably had the first book of every series, and then
Probably.
all the secret projects and everything on the end cap. I never saw it.
Yeah, it was
I didn't look at it.
yeah, it was like that end cap right in between like the fantasy and like the weird little romance / table enclave thing.
The one that normally has all the Fourth Wing stuff on it. Ours.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
Yeah.
That's probably why I didn't look at it, because I assumed it'd have the Fourth Wing stuff on it again. Because that's been there for, what, 3 years?
Oh no, so it's that shelf, but not the Fourth Wing side, the other side, like in the middle, like against the YA stuff.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, I'd never look at that.
I only looked because I was looking at.
Yeah, they never have anything good on that end cap.
I went to look at the table for something, and I turned and I just saw like the big note, and I was like, "Oh, is this a book club recommended?" Because sometimes they put like staff book picks in weird places, so that's what I thought it was at first, and then I read the note, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of funny."
Now, I walked down all the way to the end, and as I was looking at books on the end, some teenage girls ran up and got scared and ran away.
Do you have that picked on women?
Yes, I do. Just people in general.
That's true.
So then from there, I make that beeline to the little horror section. So I don't turn around.
Yeah.
I made that way. I went up and down that, and then went to the sci-fi section. So from the end of the horror to the sci-fi, I would not have, my line of sight would not have met that. So I did not see.
Find any good sci-fi books? It's just gonna be so hard for me for that not being a genre that I read very often to like top Project Hail Mary because it was just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything that?
I mean,
jumped
that
out at
was,
you
I
though?
mean, there's like way more intense sci-fi than that.
Yeah, but
That's probably, I'd say that's
yeah.
beginner level. So,
Well,
I mean,
I
yeah,
really like-
that's right where you can stay.
Yeah, stay right
And
there.
that's perfect because sci-fi is not your thing at all. So why even consider thinking about anything else? You don't
like sci-fi.
need to.
I like sci-fi when there is a fictional war happening.
That's usually all that's ever happening in
Oh,
every
okay,
book
great.
ever written.
That's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, you'd have to pick the right one. I don't know. Depends on what you're looking at. Like Jim Butcher does a lot of good stuff. I want to get into his. That's what I have a couple of those. He has the Dresden Files, which is like a supernatural series. Harry or Henry Dresden fights werewolves, vampires, that sort of shit. I can't remember if it's Harry or Henry. Doesn't matter. But yeah, no, the sci-fi. I don't know how to say his name. I think it's like Russian. It's like Adrian Chosklovsky or some shit. He writes some crazy stuff. I want to try one of his eventually, and then I can't remember the name. Something Cosby or Crosby. They write Leviathan Falls, I think, is the first book of the series. I wanted to try that one at some point too, but got so many other ones.
I know for me, there's so many romances to read. Like, how am I gonna find all the time?
Yeah, and
man?
they never stop coming out.
No, they don't.
Some of these people are pumping out 12 a year.
And you know what? you're going to catch me reading all those fake dating because I just eat that shit up. I don't know why. I've never known anybody that's fake dated. I've never fake dated. But
It's always the same thing, too.
the concept that you strike a deal, you're going to fake date, and that every time they think they're not going to fall in love and then they do. It just gets me every time. It's just so cute.
And nothing ever changes.
No, and
it's
I
always
just
just
love
the
that
same.
trope. Well, the micro tropes change, but other than that,
yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I do-
you're not always gonna have one bed.
I know, but I do love a fake dating with a one bed. Ugh,
Don't we all?
gets my gears going.
Don't we all? Really chafes my taint
I don't think I would ever use that phrase
in a good
my
way, in a
life.
good way. Normally, that's a bad thing. You don't want
Oh.
taint chafe.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I do. No. But
But
that's where we're at reading wise. Yeah.
yeah, I want to do Mistborn because who knows for the Cosmere stuff that game. If Micah decides to put one together, like the magic system and everything in Mistborn is so unique. It would be so cool to. It would work in a tabletop RPG so well, and it would be insane. So
It is on my
Yeah, it's
list.
fun
It is
to-
on my 2026
I know.
TBR. I have
we
it on-
did we did start D&D back up. So Micah said that if he did that, you had to read it.
Well, I mean, I was planning on reading it, whether
Yeah,
we
but, like-
blackmailed with
Yeah, but like
with D&D or
sooner.
not. It was on my list because I know that you really want to play that game, and I need to understand what's going on in order to play with you. So it
we
is
would
on my
need
list.
we would need multiple people to play.
Oh,
You
I didn't
can't do a
realize that.
tabletop RPG with two people.
Well, I just learned what a tabletop RPG
Yes.
was, so
it's
that's on me.
so it's D&D in the world of Brandon Sanderson is what it is.
Gotcha.
With a lot of some of the same rules, a lot of their own things. So it would be very difficult for say you and I to play because I'd have to be the game master. And then you'd have to be the player, and then I'd have to be every single NPC and every other player that we made.
Honestly, that
It
sounds
would-
like a great time for me.
Yeah, it's probably fantastic for you. I would not be able to survive doing that. That would be insane. I could not be a first-time GM and do all of that.
Well, if you were gonna do it with somebody, I'm gonna love you regardless, and I'm gonna have a
Well,
great
yeah.
time. So, if you want to try it, I'm game.
Yeah, and the only other person I know in this lifetime that has even looked at these books is Micah.
Yeah.
So
That one girl.
he'd have to be involved.
That one girl that's about to be in that show.
Totally.
Ponies.
Vic?
Not Vic, and not the one that was in White Lotus. She was the.
Oh, she doesn't matter.
She is a big Brandon Sanderson. I saw her talking on a podcast about it.
You think we can get her over here to play?
Maybe, you never know.
All right, I'll DM her tonight.
Okay, just be like, listen,
Hey,
heard you are a big Brandon Sanderson fan. We've got the game. If you want to come hang out.
heard you were in the Brando Sando world
Listen,
trying to come over.
she's right. You know what? I bet we should DM Josh Hutcherson too, because I bet he would play a game. I bet he'd read the books.
Oh,
and
I
play
would.
The game.
I'd sit there. I'd watch that. Now I forget what the game is called.
Oh, that one that he was
Twilight
talking about?
Imperium. I'd sit there with him and play that.
Yeah.
Aren't you the one that said that wasn't a real game?
I didn't think it was. And
I feel like you told me that. Yeah, I said it was called Twilight Imperium, and you said no.
I don't.
Uh,
It sounds like a fake name, honestly.
But okay, so we've got for Fragile Threads of Power. We've talked about 1/3 of the story. Essentially, there are 2/3 left. So where were we going to pick up? You had a whole bunch of tabs.
Yeah, so we're going to pick up with Rye throwing a hissy fit because he wants to leave the castle and he is not allowed. So he's just walking around the orchard, touching apples, thinking about death, and pouting because it was like right after his assassination attempt. He got up and he looks so focused.
I'm reading something.
Oh, sorry.
It's really far away. I'm listening to you, but I'm trying to read these little words.
And he's like wandering around talking about death, thinking about his old priest because he's the king, so he gets his own priest, and it's the most powerful priest, and I don't know what the name is, even though you just told me what it was.
What?
The name of the highest priest in this
Oh,
world.
Evanescence.
Yeah. And you find out that his old Evanescence was...
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the name of a band. Whatever it is.
Evanescent.
Evanescent?
Evanescent.
What? Yeah.
It's going to be on one of those 5 pages you're probably staring at.
That's true.
Because if he's
was.
talking to the priest, they have to call them the Evanescent at some point. Because I don't know the person's name. I only know him by that title. You might not even, who knows, you might not notice what it is.
No, it is. It's italicized too. The 10th, Oven Essen. Yeah. Her name is Ezreal.
Israel, okay.
And,
Okay. I won't remember that. I'll remember the Evanescent, though.
yeah. And she is the complete opposite of his old one.
Mhm.
The other one was like this older dude, ready to croak at any moment, and losing him was like the hardest thing he's ever done, besides losing his parents and everything else. But he's visiting his tree because when they die, they get a tree planted for them. And he starts talking to her about death and what she thinks. And instead of giving the cookie cutter answer that every priest is supposed to give, she gives her honest opinion of, like, well, and this is where we start to learn, well, like, you died and you should have never been able to come back, and you did. And, like, that's kind of the first time we hear anybody somewhat question the fact of, like, what they did, which we don't, I mean, I'm sure they go into detail in the trilogy, but I wouldn't say they go into, like, a ton of detail of, like...
No, they basically just say Kel and Rye are bound.
Yeah.
That's most of it.
But they don't really say what happened and why he died. But this is kind of like the first time that him still being here puts into question the religious faith of this world, which might be part of the reason people hate him, besides the fact that he has no magic.
Maybe. Also, the tree's planted when they become a priest.
When they become a priest? I thought it was when they died.
Nope. Tree dies when they die.
Oh.
Because there's nobody there to tend it anymore, so the tree shrivels away and dies.
That...
Because they have to tend to the tree themselves, and that's
a wild concept.
To grow a tree?
That, like, that's part of your job, is to grow and tend for a tree. On top of your other duties that you do. Although I don't feel like a tree would be that hard to tend. Maybe, I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about trees. Unless they're tending it with their magic.
Set them and forget them.
That's what I thought. But anyway. And then that leads us to our homegirl Tess, who sees the threads of power.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got this magical box.
And the threads are fragile.
Mm-hmm. And they're talking to her. And she gets this little box. And she fixes it. And she figures out how to fix it. Because she's just going ham on the threads. And then she asks the box to open. Not knowing at all what it does or anything.
The box is called a Persilis.
Yeah, she doesn't know that. But yes.
I don't care if she doesn't know that. We know that. We've known that for chapters.
Yes, we have.
So you can say it.
Yeah.
We're not talking to Tess.
We're not. But she also doesn't know.
To anybody.
Just each other. She also doesn't know what the Persilis does, so she just fixes it, not knowing. She also doesn't know she has pieces missing.
Yeah.
She, like, kind of thinks, but by the time she starts, like, once she starts moving and manipulating the thread, she completely forgets that she's definitely missing parts.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how our homegirl ends up in a different world. She ends up in White London. She doesn't know that. It takes her probably the entire chapter of her, like, some lady yelling at her in a language she doesn't know in the middle of the street, her almost dying because she almost gets ran over by a horse, to then realize that she was in the exact same spot, but it wasn't her shop. And then she goes back and is like, I have made a mistake. I need to destroy this. And that's when we go back to Kostka. And you are child queen. And it is the day of the tithe. And I thought, and this is my limited experience with fantasy novels, I thought the tithe was going to be payment with money.
It's always payment.
It's always, I just assumed the payment was always money, though.
No, it's just, tithe is just a payment. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be for betterment of everything.
Yeah. Well, they do their tithe with blood, which is horrifying. Not like per person, I would agree, but like they. It's so much though when every person in the city has to give like it's essentially 3 drops of blood at 3 different places. But the fact that Koska, our little queen who's 14 and doesn't talk or narrate like a 14-year-old, but that's like a whole other thing. She breaks the bowl every time. And she just gets drenched in blood all day. That's what disgusted me. And I just thought she was going to be like walking through the street and like there would be some blood, which is still gross, but like, okay, whatever, you do this all the time, you're the queen. But like the fact that she like stands there and lets the blood like wash over her just really grosses me out. And I also don't understand. I mean, it's supposedly working. It's supposed to bring magic back to their land. If everybody gets the blood is supposed to enrich
Hmm?
the magic in the world. But it just really grossed me out. And this is when you find out she talks to dead people.
I mean, you don't truly know if he's fully dead or not.
Yeah,
You
that's
have no
true.
idea. I mean, as we've already determined, we have a dead man who was brought back to life.
Yeah, that's true. We don't
Like,
really know what
we don't know where he is, what void he's operating in currently. All we know is that only she can see him currently, or at least that we know of.
Yeah.
And he's always very much like, I'm always around.
I'm tethered to. He says
yes,
the word
I'm
tethered
always here.
a lot. Like he's like, I'm tethered to you, and it's heavily implied. She says it. He says it. That like because she found his dead body. She as in Koska, he as in Holland. Since Koska found Holland's dead body in the woods, he like picked her to
Yeah.
take his magic. But there's a scene when all of this is happening where he makes a comment about how he never saw her in the woods. And she was like, then how did you pick me? And he just doesn't say anything. And then something ends up happening that drags them both away from their conversation. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, girl, that doesn't make any sense. This is not how the Antari magic works anywhere. Now, granted, we only see 2 other people, and that's Kel and Delilah. Well, technically Holland does, but that doesn't really count. But like those are the only 2 other people that we see. Delilah's from Grey London, Kel is from Red London. But both of them were just like at the age of 6 turned into Antari. Like I don't understand why she's the only Antari that we know that was like chosen, that like got that part of the magic system just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't know if it's like a writing thing or if it's you should be questioning this entire dynamic.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know Holland. I don't
or
know.
we don't know the inner workings of the other 2, and maybe all of them.
Oh,
maybe all the magic is only a limited amount of Antari at any point. So when one of them dies, they have to find a new vessel.
Oh, that would be a good point.
Maybe.
That would be interesting.
So since he was old as shit, he might have been the first one.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got Lila and Kel who possibly, maybe they got somebody in their minds.
Maybe.
I mean, Lila is fucking crazy.
Lila is crazy.
So, yeah, I mean,
well, her parents had to be crazy because they were like, you have a black eye, let's cut it out. Although I guess I didn't realize it was like black from rim to, like it's like a demon black eye. So I do kind of understand why her eye doctor was like, get it out. Take it out. But also still like wild if she would have just been like, I can see out of it. Don't take it.
Yeah. It's the early 1800s.
That is
you
true.
think they're just going to be like, oh, yeah, okay, you've
basically
got the
demon.
devil and you cut it.
That's so true. That's
Like,
so true. They haven't even burned the witches yet.
it's either rip the shit out or give them cocaine about it. Like, I mean,
That's
there's two options.
cocaine or cut it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Where are we at?
the
What's
tides
next?
just really goes on forever. The
Okay.
next is Delilah has to find, what is the name of this box again?
The Persilis.
She has to find the
Maris
Persilis.
hired Delilah to find the Persilis.
Yeah, because she owes her a life debt, or she owes her a debt for her eye. So she's like wandering around London with her normal glass eye, so nobody knows that she's special. She's just wandering around like, oh, well, if this was broken, where would I go to fix it? And they tell her to go to. Oh, she leaves the palace because she's pouting, per usual. And she goes and gets herself some like donuts, basically. And then she's like, well, I guess while I'm here, I'll do some digging. And that's when she finds out about Haskins. And she's like, I should go there. And then that brings us back to Tess freaking out about the fact that she traveled to a parallel universe when our two hired hitmen walk into her cute little shop and are like, we want to talk to Haskins. We have some questions. And that is when the 16-year-old is like, shit. I really wish there was another person here. Because she now realizes that she's going to have to make this box for them or they're going to kill her.
Yeah, because they know that these two, that's Callan and Bex, they were looking for man number 3, our thief, our hero of the story. He was supposed to bring the Persilis back to them because they are, I guess I wouldn't say they're higher ups, but they're more important than a few of the people that we've met of the hand. So he was supposed to report back with the Persilis to them.
Because you later find out, I don't really feel like this is jumping not too far ahead. You do later find out that when the 3 men were supposed to have gotten the Persilis and given it to Bex and Callan, Bex and Callan were then supposed to kill them. Like they weren't ever making it off of this ship very far. Like that's their entire thing, and I'm just makes you feel kind of bad for the 3rd man, but also I don't think he would have been a great person, so I think it would have been fine.
That's what they get.
I know.
Working for this cult organization.
That's what you get for working for
Yeah.
the bad guys.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
Yeah. That was all I had, just that they were supposed to kill them. But you find out Bex and Callan come in, you can talk about them a little.
I don't remember where I was, and you
Sorry.
jumped in, so you can talk.
My sincerest apologies. Just that they come in and they're ready to. They're taking the box whether she gives it willingly or not. They don't know fully what it does, though. That is something like you find out when they're talking to her that they like know kind of what it's supposed to do, but they don't know what it looks like. So she like lies to them and tells them that it's a magic box or a music box or something when it's not.
Yeah, she tried to pawn off another box on them to make them leave. Was basically what it was.
Yeah.
But they wanted her to show them how it worked, and she said, well, it's not done yet. And they said, well, we'll wait. So then basically she had to stand there in front of them. That's the moment when they drugged her, right? Or is that's later?
That's later.
That's later, yeah. Ignore that. So she decides she has to make this box really quick, even though with the other one, it took her a few days or so, but they wanted it like as quick as possible. And they're sitting there watching her. And then what does she ask for? She asks for water. Because she's sitting there fiddling around. She's just kind of like thinking. You're not getting a lot of her inner monologue on what she's doing. You're still thinking she's making this box. Well, she asked for them to bring her some water, but what she was doing was making a bomb.
Mm-hmm. And like the way that it's described is that like you can see like because is it Callan like spots it. You can like see like an outline of the magic that she's doing
Oh,
in
the
the
scar.
shop.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the scar. And that's when she's like, I gotta hurry. Because they're
Yeah,
gonna
you can kind of tell there's something.
like a doorway or something
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. Yeah. And then she like has them open it and it blows up in their faces.
Mhm.
And then she has the entire shop spelled that like if she hits this one, like a rune or like a spell in her woven in the building, it like caves in on itself, and she's just like hoping that's gonna take him out. It does not take.
Yeah, she ends up not killing either of them.
No, Bex is down for the count because Bex doesn't end up following her. However, Callan does. And he ends up chasing her, and she has the actual Perseus with her. And she's like, well, I have to use this. There's no other option. I'm going to die. So she opens it, walks through the door, and Callan throws a knife at her. And, I didn't think anything of it at first. But then she's like standing there and looks down, and she's like covered. Or she's like starts bleeding and
Yeah,
is
she
covered in
sees
blood.
this knife in her.
Yeah. And at that point, I was like, don't pull it out. Don't pull it out. Don't pull it out. She's like, obviously, I'm going to pull it out. And I was like, no, that makes it 10 times worse. You don't ever pull it out. You leave it in for a medical professional. But I did also forget that it's the 1800s.
She
so
wasn't going to find a medical professional.
No, she was not. But you leave
There
it in
wasn't
until you
one.
find someone to help you because you're going to bleed out faster.
Yeah,
Yeah. But she's
probably
also.
doesn't know that.
No, she's a child. She's a literal child.
Say that probably wasn't extremely common knowledge in the early 1800s.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Now, maybe there's a chance of it, yes. But, so yeah.
Yeah, maybe
so
in the magical London, that's something they know.
maybe. So she got away.
She
For
gets
now.
away. For now, yeah.
And she's in White London.
She's in White London, and when she's in White London, she looks around, and it takes her a second, but she realizes all of the threads that she sees everywhere, in the light, in the water, in the buildings, like none of it's there.
Yes, there's nothing there.
Because she's like, oh, I'll just take a thread and I'll just fix myself. It's no big deal. But then there are no threads. And this is when you kind of start to realize that even with the tithe and everything that you learn about Koska doing, that this city still has basically no magic.
Basically, Kosaka has all of the magic,
Yeah.
from what you can tell. Except for the fact that, what's her name? Tess. She then sees a very faint little thread.
Yeah, and she thinks she's blacking out, so she doesn't like really clock what it looks like.
Mhm.
And so she follows it, and it somehow takes her to this tavern that she like starts banging on the door, and they get her in. And
Mighty fine gentleman takes her inside.
yeah,
I forget what his name is.
I know, it's like Ed or Ned or something.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
But yeah, so I mean, she goes inside, but then there's like a couple of time jumps, and you get a few other vantage points before we get back to Tess at that point.
Mm-hmm. And it's, yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel like I learned a lot from Koska. Like, there are some Koska chapters that were like jumping over, but I just didn't feel like I learned a lot from
She's
her.
just kind of there.
She's just kind of there. She's just
She'll
got
be-
this weird.
I'm sure she'll become a problem
Oh, yeah.
because at the end they reveal some more things.
And she's got this weird love triangle going on with her, basically her handmaid who takes care of her.
And her head of security.
Her head of
Is
security.
basically what Lark is.
Yeah, her longtime best friend.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
definitely.
Lark
thing.
wants to fuck her. Nasi wants to fuck her.
I think Lark and Nasi also want to fuck each other.
Probably.
There's like
I
a
mean,
weird moment in
you,
the
you
orchard.
might as well have it.
Yeah. I mean, they both clearly care for her a lot, so maybe that's just the vibe, but they definitely have some weird little
Might as well.
love story
Why
going
not?
on. Yeah.
That's how it should be.
And then that brings us to part 7.
Mhm.
And this is the first time you meet the hand in a meeting. They meet in the, I like that they call them pleasure gardens instead of brothels.
It's a much nicer name.
It is a much nicer name. I would agree. But that's where they're doing all of their backhanded shady deals.
Yeah.
Is in the pleasure gardens. And there's a meeting of 3 people.
Yeah. Especially the veil, because it always moves around. It's always in a new spot. It's always coded message to get in, basically, as well. So it takes what people think a very special person to find and decode the message. But then once certain people get there and see, they say, oh, there's just a bunch of fucking morons here. Why was it so difficult for me to figure this out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there are 3 people in this meeting, and they don't identify any of them in the actual like dialogue of that chapter. They all still wear their masks the whole time, which I thought was a little weird. Like, if you're gonna be in a rebel group conspiring to kill the king, you think you would at least want to know who you're talking to. Just my, like, I guess you'd want to know who you're in business with. But there's a woman and 2 men. I assumed when reading, and I could be definitely wrong, that one of the men was the owner of the veil. Because he, like, showed up previously with his weird little ice powers. It was very aggressive.
Yeah. It's Lila, right? No, that was the owner of the other brothel.
Mm-hmm.
That lady.
Yeah,
I don't remember what her name was. It doesn't matter.
And she doesn't come back up. But he, like, basically goes there and bullies her into giving him girls, which makes me think that he doesn't actually really run the brothel. He just bullies other brothels or pleasure gardens into loaning them their girls so that he could run basically this rebellion. But I could be dead wrong because it doesn't say one way. That doesn't really give any descriptors other than there are 3 people in 3 different colored masks talking about the plan. You know that the woman is somebody that the king trusts because her job is to take, the Persillus has a key, like a coin or something you're supposed to drop where you want the Persillus to open and take you to. And her job is to drop said coin, which is part of the reason this meeting does not go well, because they don't have it.
And they don't know where it is.
And she is very adamant that he's not going to get it. The man whose plan it is, she's like, you don't have it. We need to have another plan because I don't trust you, basically. And he's like, no, I'm going to get it. And then you find out that whoever this is hates Akalar with a burning passion.
Yep, his name's Akalar.
God damn it, what is his name? I know it's going to be here.
It's Akalar.
Whatever. I know it's right here.
Our good buddy Akalar.
I know you're messing with me, and I know that's not right.
And our other best friend, Kay.
I'm Kay.
Call me. I can't wait until in the original trilogy, like, that's gonna get brought up, right? Like, he's gonna have to find this new persona at the, like, do they bring that up at the end of that, do you think? Or was them talking about him in the flashbacks of this story the first time that anybody heard about Kay?
If I had to guess, I would say it was the flashbacks here, because I would assume that story ends.
It should end after that. That's what I'm thinking. But I didn't know, because there were so many flashbacks in this, if there was any little flash forward stuff, or, you know.
No, I don't know.
Maybe he was fucking around with that little persona that he had prior to, maybe.
Yeah, maybe this whole chapter was already in the other book. I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't think she reused any chapters, but...
Well, that's true. I don't know. I'll keep you posted. But I kind of hope this is the first time you learn about Kay.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But you find out it's his brother, Barris. And he
Akalar's brother.
I still can't find this name.
Yes.
I've been looking for it.
Barris Emery, who Alucard has been he had always been kind of looking over his shoulder, kind of like Tess had for her sister, but he'd always been just kind of thinking he'd be there at some point.
And not in a
Always,
good way.
no, just always assuming that he might be around. And you don't really, I mean, in this story, you don't really get much of the
Family.
backstory and all of that from the Emery family side and Akalar and Adalar and him. So you don't really know. You just learn pretty quickly that he's a bad man. Barris is a bad man.
Yeah. And so was their dad. Their dad sounds like the fucking worst. You find out that his sister dies during the like a sickness that comes in, because he does talk about that at the beginning when he goes and stares at his old family house. He like talks about his sister and his mom being dead. But yeah, Barris has a couple chapters, and not a single one of them makes me feel remotely bad for him. I don't know if that was the purpose of those chapters, but like even hearing his point of view, I'm just like, yeah, you suck.
Well, I mean, he wants you to feel bad for him.
Yeah.
That's the point of that.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah, no rational person's gonna feel bad for him for anything that he did.
Yeah, he basically just wakes up every day mad that Alucard has more magic than him and is better at wielding it. So Barris is like, well, I'm going to fight.
And he's mad he's getting some ass, too.
Well, yes, but not in the flashback. Yeah, there feels like there's some homophobic undertones in that family as
Probably,
well.
yeah.
But Barris is just like, well, I'm going to learn to fight with my fists, and I'm going to be the best, basically MMA fighter is what it feels like this city's ever seen. And then he just beats the shit out of his 12-year-old brother in front of their little sister. And their dad's just like,
good work, son.
good work. I'm just going to watch this. And he's like, our house is for pride and honor. And this is what this means. And Alucard is basically like, I would rather be dead than support anything you and Dad support ever. So really, he does end up winning at life, because he basically burns his old house to the ground and is just like, fuck all of you. Metaphorically, like, burns his life to the ground and just remakes himself as Bryce. Nope.
Yep, Bryce.
You know what I mean.
Bryce, yep, Akalar.
And Rye, I want to call him Reese so bad, but it's Rye as Rye's husband. I'm really excited to learn about their love story, because it seems like, I feel like it's going to be really cute.
Yeah, you'll probably get a lot of their courting in that first trilogy.
Because their whole family dynamic in this book is absolutely adorable. The little, like, I wouldn't say it's a throuple, because I just feel like the queen is like, no, I'm just here to co-parent. You two can do it.
Oh yeah, she's just there. She
like
just wanted to be a mom. She didn't want to be anything else.
She wanted to be a mom who had unlimited resources, and she's thriving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing everything she can.
Yeah, she's doing
tearing apart bodies and people and whatever she can possibly find in every single way, shape, and form, while having a child too.
Yeah, and then we go back to, straight from the brother. Then we go to Alucard. Yep, Alucard's chapter, and he is back talking to the queen, even though he implies the first time he goes down to her little area that they don't hang out down there super often. It feels like they do. It feels like
they hang out every day.
Oh, I guess they do hang out every night.
Yeah, it says that. She says that he bothers her every single day.
I know, but
and it's always there.
When you hear his point of view, he's like, I don't really like coming down here, and
yeah,
I try not to bother her. And then she's like, bitch, you're here every day.
He's there with her nonstop. That's just how he be working.
And this is where you find out her newest little tinkering toy, which is a ring and a bracelet. And she puts it on Alucard. She puts the bracelet on him, and she puts the ring on. And Alucard can't feel his powers anymore, and like kind of starts to freak out. He thinks it's like, I don't like a
siphoning.
Yeah,
and taking them.
Yeah, he realizes she's controlling it. and it's not just like cut off, and he loses his mind. And this is kind of the first time I feel like you see her be like, well, if we would give it to Rye, maybe people would stop hating him. Like, we can pretend that he has magic and everything will be fine and my family will be safe. And Alucard is like, no, they'll hate him more. And it's just like crazy to see that she does, in fact, actually, it's not just that she cares about her daughter and not Rye. Like, you can tell in that moment she genuinely cares about Rye. And she's terrified her daughter isn't going to have magic, I feel like.
I don't know if we can say that she cares about Rye in that aspect. More like, as you say, like her family will be safe.
Yeah.
More to the point that he won't be dethroned, and then she will no longer be queen and no longer have unlimited resources that she would want to have.
So you think
I
she's
feel
more
like that's also there. It's
that she's more protecting her own
yeah, that a
lifestyle
motive is there
than-
for her, so that way if the king does have magic, people will stop questioning him and trying to come after him and kill him all the time, because as soon as he dies, who
Yeah.
knows what's going to happen. I mean, technically, yes, they have an heir, but I don't know in that moment how that would work. But
Yeah,
I
if he's
think she-
assassinated, you would assume whoever assassinated him is coming in.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think she has ulterior motives for herself in that aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, she probably genuinely cares for Rye in a certain way, but that I feel like is for her.
Yeah. Well, Alucard basically tells her to destroy it.
Mhm.
He says, "You destroy it, or I will." And that is foreshadowing about how that's about to be a problem later on.
Maybe.
Yeah. And then we're back to Koska and Holland, just
They're
hanging out,
just chilling.
talking to dead people.
They're talking, they're chatting. He's there in the room with her. It feels like school spirits.
It really does.
That he's back like in the corner, like
Just
staring
taking it
at her,
all in.
talking to her, and she keeps being like,
And she worships him. Like, this is her god. It would be like,
basically, the majority of the people of that land treat him that way
yes.
because of how he cared for them and what he did. Like, he's the one that, opened back up the flow of magic and did all,
brought magic back.
did all the things that he did. And he traveled to all the different Londons, and he was the, the pivotal point of everything. And he was their guy.
Yeah. And it just kind of talks about, she reads a lot of his old journals. And this like chapter here talks about kind of how she got him to haunt her,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Part of me is still not convinced that she's not like crazy.
Yeah,
There's,
her
like, a
her
small
story
part
is
of
going to
me.
be completely wild. You don't. It doesn't feel like you get enough information to fully understand what's truly happening and what is going to happen.
Yeah.
In later chapters, they do open up more, and you get a little bit more of a look-see at what's happening. But it's mainly just that Holland gets creepier and creepier and more stoic about everything that he says.
Mhm.
And so it just makes you question more than you already did.
Mhm. And so now she's like reading old letters in his office because it was his palace first. So obviously all his stuff is still there. And like you said, everybody worships him, so nobody's going to get rid of anything that he has. And he was the most powerful wizard, and she's the only other person in this world with the same magic. So there are places that he was in the palace that only she can get to. And she starts reading some of his old stuff where he's basically like, I would do anything to get magic back here. I don't care what it takes, what I have to do. I'll sacrifice myself or anybody else. Like, we are getting magic back. And then they have this like whole story that they keep going back to, that her priest, because apparently in all of the worlds you have to have a religious council follow you around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He tells her about how magic never burns out, that there's always embers, and that Holland went and got the ember and brought it back and relit it for everybody. And they just reference that story over and over again. And it also talks about how she accidentally goes to Black London and Holland like won't speak to her for like 3 weeks, but you don't really know why because she didn't do anything. She just like showed up, was like vibes are off.
Yeah. He was there though.
With her.
Mm-hmm. He says that.
Yeah.
He was still there. She was scared that he had gone.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm always here.
Oh yeah, like he was still around her. Yeah, he was just mad and like
Yes.
withholding.
He was still there.
Yeah, I thought you meant in Black London. I was like, I didn't think he went with her. But that, yeah, I just misunderstood what you were saying.
Well, he was in Black London with her because he also said, you can't go anywhere without me.
That's true.
I'm always there.
Yeah.
I'm always with you, bitch.
Yeah.
I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch.
Yeah, and that's kind of where you learn a little bit more about how even the Antari, if you travel,
The Trinari.
sorry, Antari,
Trin.
I don't know what you're doing to me right now.
What?
What?
Trin.
I hate when you do this. Anyway, that even when they travel from different realms, they have to have something to take them where they want to go, whether
Huh? It's like a piece of that world, essentially.
yeah, Holland used money.
Mm-hmm.
And so did Kel and Lila, because they talk about how Kel still wears the money around his neck. But I would assume it could be anything. That's just small, so I feel like that's why they use that. Then you listen to Barris be the fucking worst, and he runs into, or he like summons Bex and Cal, or they show up at his apartment. Either way, and they're like, "Well, we might have killed the Tinkerer. We don't know where the box is, but you still need to pay us."
Yeah, you owe us money. We found it. We know who made it, where it is, generally. Where's our money?
We can't find her in this world, but
I was hoping right then he was just gonna bury them.
I thought for sure he was
I
gonna
wanted
murder
him
them.
to kill them right there. And then I had some respect for Barris, but I was like, nah, he's bitch made. He didn't fucking kill these people.
Well, and I thought it was interesting too that Bex and Callan work together, it sounds like, all the time. And I don't know any two people in this entire book that hate each other more than those two people. They're like the worst workplace friends. Yeah, I guess. They just hate each other. Like, well, I don't even know that Callan hates her as much, but like she hates him. I mean, Callan doesn't like her, but like she legitimately is plotting his death every free second that she has.
She would love for him to be dead immediately.
Yeah.
But they need each other.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And this is like the first time you kind of see them come together. And they're like, we hate each other, but we don't want to die. So. So there's that. And then you go back to Grey London. I don't remember this being Grey London.
What?
That's where Tess ends up the second, when she goes in the second time. I thought she went back to White London, where she found the door. That was Grey London.
Do we even know if the first time she went in it was White London?
No, that's true. It just says somewhere else.
Okay, so we don't fully know. We're just assuming.
We're just assuming because of the party on the streets. That's why I assumed, because it was like they were prepared.
Yeah.
Like the tithe, but they don't really know. But she sees this little thread again, and she follows it, and this is when she realizes that it is a black thread.
Are we at a new part now? We need to...
Yeah, we're at part 8.
Okay, that'll be... We can come to a stopping point.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so she gets to that point, but that would also make sense that it's Grey London, because as we find out later, I don't know if it's right in that moment, but you find out that that man saw Kel a lot. So I mean, Lila's from Grey London, so I mean that could be part of the reason why they were back and forth there. And we know that Lila is from a land that had no magic.
Yeah.
So,
But it's
Her-
interesting that we're gonna find out that she does see like
What?
it's even more interesting that the black magic is in gray London, because I was thinking it was white London the whole time, and I was like, well, that makes sense because they say Holland went to black London and brought it back, but like that it's in gray London is interesting. That's suspicious. Opens up a
Maybe
lot.
there is no Black London.
There is. They go.
Maybe there isn't. Maybe Black London is Gray London.
No, I don't think so. I don't. I'm pretty confident there are four. They talk all the time about.
Everybody thinks there's 4.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to know?
But I think Kel has visited all 4. We just don't see.
You don't know
in
that.
this book.
He doesn't necessarily know that. Has he gone to every single continent, every spot on the world?
I don't know.
How does he know?
I don't
That
know.
maybe he didn't end up somewhere else on Grey London.
Maybe. Well, that's all of this
Who
week's
knows?
installment. Do you want to spin the wheel this week, or you want to wait till next week?
I don't care. You need to add another book. This one was yours.
It was? Well,
In a legal sense, yeah.
in a legal sense, you're still gonna let me add a book. I thought you were gonna.
Yeah,
take
we
this
said after 3 you'd lose them.
All right,
You'd start
let's
losing
look
opportunities.
at this. I would like
We're gonna
to.
spin the base this time. Is what we're gonna.
I would like to add. What do I have on there?
Legends and Lattes, House on the Cerulean Sea, funny story. You should probably put a check mark on those, but you moved your pen, didn't you?
Yeah, I used it at D&D yesterday.
Yeah, you moved your pen.
I'm gonna put A Touch of Darkness. That's a Persephone and Hades retelling, and I feel like I could use that in my life.
I feel like it'll probably land on that.
That's also a trilogy too.
Of course. Can never just pick a standalone story.
Nope.
Move this out of the way.
Well, funny story standalone if that makes you feel better. It'll be Wild Robot. Ooh. I'm gonna have to find that in an audiobook. Good.
I've seen it on the library before. So, I'll put it back up. Shadow of Kiyoshi. That is the first of a duology. And that one actually was one that I put on there.
Yes, it is.
So that's the first of a duology in the Avatar: The Last Airbender world.
Kyoshi was the Earthbender, right?
Yeah, that's the Kyoshi warriors and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
That Sokka dates the one.
I mean, we've got probably another 2 episodes worth of this, so
I know, that's why I was
there's no
trying to-
hurry of getting to this. I wasn't going to spin the wheel at all, but
Oh, sorry.
You
I
wanted to,
just
so.
want to make sure I can get the book and everything and have it.
that's fine. It should be at the library. We've got multiple apps. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, so that was episode 15. We talked about 4 parts of the Fragile Threads of Power. We've still got another 4 parts left, a few hundred pages worth. This is, as the end of just about any fantasy series is, it starts to get pretty fucking crazy after this.
Yeah, there's
So,
like 200 pages left.
We'll learn a little bit more about everybody. Really, you learn about everybody up until the end. It's not like there's
and
nothing.
the hand becomes like its own character almost.
They've already been a problem and a character, so
Yeah, I know. They get even worse though.
as bad as they can be, I guess. But okay. So that was episode 15 of TBR Together with Megan and Jake.
Thanks for tuning in.
So do you have any closing remarks?
If you're listening, thank you so much.
Yes. If you're listening,
Appreciate you.
make sure you like, subscribe,
And share.
share,
Tell your friends.
and
Join our book club.
don't forget to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Not a sponsor.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, especially because I'm about to post this week what the menu for Bridgerton is in case anybody would like to
Oh, for
join
the
me
next-
in baking scones and having tea. I was going to
For
get
the
that
next
menu out a
4-piece.
little early for the next 4 episodes because that comes out
Yeah.
Valentine's Day week, but
weekend
week
after. All right, cool. All right, and I think that is all for us. We will
Catch you next
talk
week.
at you next week.